Again ha, kapag sa intrinsic value method, kapag mas malaki si fair value, meron tayong intrinsic. Pero pag mas maliit si fair value compared to the option price, wala tayong intrinsic value. Wala ka rin i-recognize na share option outstanding doon. Pero tingnan mo kung subsequent year ba yan or first year. Kasi kung first year, wala kang i-record. Pero hindi ibig sabihin na dahil sa year na yan, walang intrinsic value, wala na yan forever. No. Kasi sa vesting period, no, titingnan mo yan always kung mas maliit or mas malaki ba si market value. I-monitor mo. Kasi maybe pag second year, basin taas na din yung market value. Di may i-recognize ka na intrinsic value. Diba? Pero halimbawa, ganito guys. On the first year, meron po siyang intrinsic value. Mas malaki si market value. On the second year, mas maliit. Okay ha? Pakinggan nito. Kung mas malaki sa first year, si market value, meron kang intrinsic value, may i-recognize ka na salaries, tapos share options outstanding. On the second year, nagkaroon ng mas malaking option, mas bababang market value compared to the option price. Ibig sabihin, wala ka sanang i-recognize na option, salaries expense doon. Pero take note, nagmo-monitor ka dito guys. On the first year, nag-recognize ka ng compensation. Dito sa second year, mas mababa si market value. Kaya ang gawin mo, magkaroon ng decrease ng salaries expense and also to the share options outstanding. Ang gawin mo, ang ibig kong sabihin, ang gawin mo, tingnan mo sa first year kung meron ka bang na-recognize na compensation expense. E di kung meron, tapos nagkataon sa second year, mas mababa yung market value, ang gawin mo, kunin mo yung difference pa rin ng option price and the market value, tapos yung amount na yun yung dapat i-decrease natin sa compensation expense. Ibig sabihin, magkakaroon ng reversal. No? Reversal ang tawag doon. Now, kapag mas malaki yung decrease, halimbawa, mas malaki pa yung difference ng option price and market value dito sa second year, pero baliktad nga lang, mas maliit si market value. Now, kapag mas malaki yung decrease niya, compared sa na-recognize natin na compensation expense sa first year, ang gawin mo, i-decrease mo siya up to the extent kung magkano yung ni-recognize mo sa first year na compensation expense. Huwag ka dapat mag-decrease sobra pa sa ni-recognize mo sa first year. Okay? Kasi hindi pwedeng mas malaki pa yung decrease niya compared to the already recognized na compensation expense. So yun, hin-highlight ko lang kasi naalala ko yung case ng share appreciation rights na ganun yung mga cases minsan. Bumaba yung market value, tataas yung market value. Ayan. So yun din yung gawin natin dito guys. No? Kasi hanggang hindi pa siya na actually exercised, hindi pa natin ma-determine kung magkano yung final market value ng ating shares. Di ba? No? Na with options. Kaya always tayo magmo-monitor ng mga market value. Lalong-lalo na kapag ka-intrinsic value method kasi napakahalagang malaman natin si market value na i-compare natin sa option price. Okay, so dito tayo mag-focus guys ng modification. This is the last topic of the YOLO 1, YOLO A. Okay, modification. So, dyan, kailan nag-modify? Tingnan natin kailan nag-modify. January 1, 2016. Ibig sabihin, meron ng 1 year. No? 1 year after, nag-modify si entity. Nag-reprice ng share option exercise price. Nag-lower. Kapag nag-lower yan, usually tataas si market value ng share options. Beneficial yan. Okay, for 2015, wala pang modification na nangyari. Kaya usual accounting lang based sa original condition. Meron po tayong vesting period dito na ilang years ba? 3 years. Okay, so 2015, ilang employees yung meron sila? 500. May aalis ba? May umalis. 40 employees. At saka meron pang expected na aalis, 70 employees. Total, 110 employees. No? So 500 minus 110 employees, yung remaining employees is 390. Entitled yan sa share option. Times natin sa 100 share options each employee, In total, meron tayong total granted option na 39,000. Multiply it by the fair value at the grant date. Ito po ay fair value method kasi given si grant date na fair value ng option. 15 po. Kaya multiply it by 15. So we have 585,000. Since this is first year and we have a 3-year vesting period, gawin natin times 1/3. So yung cumulative compensation expense natin for the first year is 195,000. Recognize natin yan, debit salaries, credit share options outstanding, 195,000. 2016, nag-modify, right? Okay, nag-modify. Sabi daw, anong sabi? Meron na daw bagong share option, fair value ng share option, 6 pesos. Merong increase pala. Increase in fair value ng share option, 6 pesos. 6 pesos yung increase. So merong dagdag na fair value ng option. Kaya yan po ay beneficial to the employee. Ang sabi ko kanina, kapag may beneficial modification, tuloy lang yung accounting ng original condition, idagdag lang natin yung increase ng fair value as a compensation expense. Okay? So ayan, sa 2016, tingnan natin. Ayan. 500 employees, meron nang umalis sa year 2015 na 40, may umalis sa 2016 na 35, and meron pang expected na alis, no? Estimated during that year 30 employees. In total, ayan, yung remaining is 395,000 entitled yan sa share options. Multiply natin ng 100 share options each employee, meron na tayong total share options granted na 39,500. Multiplied by the fair value, we have 592,500. Yan po yung total, no? Based yan sa original condition. Wala pa tayong binago dyan. 592,500. So, yung i-recognize natin dyan, kukunin muna natin yung cumulative for 2016. Multiply natin ng 2/3. So, yung cumulative as of 2016 is 395,000. Deduct lang natin yung ni-recognize natin. Okay. Wag muna. Kukunin muna natin kasi ito po yung year of modification. Pwede mo kasing i-separate. Pwede rin, ang ginawa niya kasi dito sa book is kinuha niya lahat kung magkano yung compensation to be recognized this year. Tsaka diniduct yung cumulative compensation sa previous year. Pero pwede mo siyang iisa-isahin. Okay, pwede mong iisahin. Habang uma-account ka ng original condition, account ka din doon sa beneficial modification. So yung ginawa dito sa book, yan, dinagdag niya lang yung additional kasi additional compensation yon. Sabi sa PFRS 2, kapag may increase in fair value due to the beneficial modification, dagdag yun as compensation expense. Ayan. And to be recognized over the remaining vesting period. Katulad ng ginawa natin kapag may vesting period. Pero nga, dito, remaining kung magkano, kung ilang years yung remaining vesting period. So, yan guys, 395. Yung cumulative as of 2016. Tapos, dagdag natin yung compensation based sa beneficial modification, guys. Kunin natin yung increase ng fair value. Yung increase ng fair value ng share option, 6 pesos daw. 6 pesos, i-multiply natin yan sa total, for that year total number of options granted for that year sa 2016. Ilang share options ba yon? Ito yon, 39,500. Right? Kaya mo-multiply natin yan dito sa 6 pesos. Okay? Mo-multiply natin sa 6 pesos, 39,500 times 6. Magkano ba yan, guys? Paki-compute ko sa inyong Calcudra.
237,000, sir.
Okay, 237,000. Now, what you're going to do is to divide it by the remaining number of years. No? Kasi first year pa naman. Or ilang years na lang ba yung remaining ng vesting period? 2 years, di ba? Kasi 3 years man yon, 2016 naman taron. So, 2 years na lang yung ang bilin. So what you're going to do, multiply it by 1/2 or divide it by 2. So yung compensation to be recognized attributable sa modification is 118,500. Dagdag natin yan sa 395 na cumulative compensation as of 2016. Saka tayo mag-deduct ng cumulative compensation ng previous year, which is 195. Okay? Or sabi ko nga, pwede mo siyang i-separate. Halimbawa, 395, deduct mo si 195, saka idagdag mo si 118,500. Okay? So wala kang binago sa original. Ganun pa rin, no? Nag-base pa rin tayo sa original na ano. Wala tayong binago sa original. Nagdagdag lang tayo ng additional compensation dahil sa modification of dahil sa beneficial modification. How about pag hindi beneficial? Wala kang accounting. Walang dagdag na compensation dyan. Okay? So ayan guys. In total, for 2016, meron tayong 318,000 na compensation recognized for that year. 318,500. Next year, 2017, ganun pa rin guys. No? Based sa original, 500 employees yung meron sila. Deduct lang natin yung actually left the company sa 2015, sa 2016. Din sa 2017, ayan, 45,000. Walang expected, no? Walang binigay na expected during 2017. Kaya ang gawin natin, deduct lang natin yung actually na nag-left sa company. Ayan. So yung employees entitled as of that year, 380,000, multiply it by the number of share options each employee, 38,000 in total. Yon. Multiply it by the fair value na 15 at the grant date. So meron tayong cumulative compensation, no? Based pa rin yan sa original condition, 570,000. 570,000 yan, cumulative. Tapos idagdag natin yung compensation na i-recognize natin dahil sa beneficial modification. Okay? Diba 38,000 yun? Ilan? Magkano ba yun? 100. Sorry. Tingnan natin kung nagbago ba si fair value. Wala nang changes sa fair value ng option, di ba? Doon sa modification pala, walang changes. Ganun pa rin.
Sir.
Wala. Okay. 6 pa rin yung increase niya. So dahil 6 pa rin yung increase niya, multiply natin yan sa the new number of share options granted. Dito, 38,000. Diyan tayo mag-base sa 38,000. No? Kung magkano yung shares na granted, yan yung multiply natin sa increase ng fair value. So in total, 228,000 yan. Ang ginawa niya, dinagdag niya lahat. Tapos, kinuha yung total cumulative for that year, 798,000, including na dyan yung modification. Tapos, dinidak lang yung compensation recognized for 2015 and 2016 or the cumulative compensation for 2016. Ilan ba yan lahat? Yung cumulative. Ayan o, 513,500. Ayan. Ito yon. Kung i-total natin yung dalawa na yan, 550, 500 yan. Basta't alam mo na ano ba yung i-deduct dito to get the amount to be recognized this year. Ito yung cumulative last year. Okay? Pero ang gawin niya, ang pinakita niya sa solution, iniisa-isa by year. Pero sabi ko nga guys, pwede mong i-separate yung pag-compute ng compensation to be recognized sa modification and sa original. Halimbawa, 570, pwede na mo siya didakan una o pila tong cumulative compensation based sa original diri sa ang illustration ganiha sa 2016. Diba 395? Pwede nimo isa-isahon guys, no? Kana siya 570 i-minus nimo aning cumulative sa 2016 based sa original na 395. Pila man na guys? 570,000 minus 395, pila na siya?
175,000.
Okay, 175. Tapos ang katong sa modification, cumulative modification na to, 228 for 2017. I-deduct nimo tong na-recognize nga compensation sa modification last year. Pila to siya? 118. 228 minus 118. Pila na siya? $228.
110, sir.
Oh, 100.
110.
118, 500. 109,500. Okay? Tama ba ko? 109,500. Tapos ang
Yes, sir.
109,500, i-add ni mo na siya sa katong ganiha, tong sa original nga 175,000. That will total still, no? 284. 175,000 plus 109,500. That will still equal 284,500. Pero ito, less hassle, kaning nagihatag niya sa libro, less hassle kasi isahon man tanan. So okay lang siya guys, no? It will arrive at the same answer lang. Okay? So ayan guys, no, napakasimple lang, very procedural lang din. Basta stick to the point na kapag may benefits sa employee, yung increase ng fair value, i-recognize mo as additional compensation expense, no, over the remaining vesting period. Okay? Over the remaining vesting period kapag walang acceleration na nangyayari. But kung naalala nyo may acceleration of the vesting tayo, di ba? Di kung nangyaring may acceleration, halimbawa sa 2016, may acceleration. Kung ano yung ginawa natin sa original condition, ganun din yung gagawin natin sa modification. Halimbawa, nag-accelerate sa 2016. Di itong 200, ilan ba yun? 109,500. Yung 109,500 na difference ng 228 at saka 118,500. Yun sana yung i-recognize for 2017. Pero dahil nag-accelerate, edi i-recognize mo na lahat dito sa 20... ilan ba yun? Sorry pala. Ito pala, 118,500 divide 2 pala yun. 118,500 divide 2. Yung kalahati, na-recognize this year, 2016. Edi kung nag-accelerate, yung 118,500, i-recognize mo na lahat sa 2016. Okay? So mali pala yung ko gayna sa 228. Again the same, no? The same yung approach, the same yung accounting procedure kung nag-accelerate. Kung ano yung ginawa natin sa original condition, ganun din yung gawin natin kapag may beneficial modification. Okay? Okay na. That's all for the modification. Questions on modification, guys? If you have any questions. Dali lang siya subton, guys, no? We just have to monitor the market value of share options. Ganun lang dito sa share-based compensation na may option. Now, if you have any if you don't have any questions, let's proceed to the next topic. Will be share appreciation rights. Sorry. Wait. Okay, proceed tayo sa share appreciation rights. ULOB na tayo, guys. ULOB. Okay. Okay, paalala lang sa mga hindi pa nakasubmit ng ating activity. If you are late or hindi ka na nakasubmit dahil naabtan kag deadline sa Kuiper, pwede i-PM ni mo ang guys. You can kung gusto ka mag-submit sa Google Drive, PM me and then I will send to you the link. Okay. Punta na tayo sa share appreciation rights or ito yung tinatawag nating cash settled na compensation based na transaction. Share-based pala. Share-based payment transactions. Okay, so ang pinagkaiba lang, no? Doon sa equity settled, talagang equity yung babayad sa employee. Dito naman, cash. Okay? Pero yung cash dito, magbe-base sa value ng equity. Ayan, yun yung pinagkaiba nilang dalawa. Doon, ganun pa rin equity-based, share-based payment pa rin. Pero it's a mere equity yung i-issue nila. Dito, cash. Pero saan nag-base? Instead na bayad sila for ang basis nila is the fair value ng shares. Okay, again, fair value ng shares yung basis nila. So cash settled transaction is share-based payment transaction whereby an entity incurs a liability for services received and the liability is based on the entity's equity instrument. So dito, instead na mag-recognize tayo ng share option outstanding, hindi na tayo mag-recognize ng option outstanding dito dahil hindi na to option, guys. Wala nang option. So ito po ay liability. So instead of crediting share options outstanding, magki-credit na tayo ng accrued liability. Okay? Accrued liability. Sabi sa PFRS 2 paragraph 30, cash settled share-based compensation, the entity shall measure the services acquired and the liability incurred at the fair value of liability. Okay? Fair value ng liability. Pero saan nag-base yan? Yung liability natin? Dun sa ating shares. Sa equity pa rin. Value of equity instrument. Now, until the liability is settled, the entity shall remeasure the fair value of the liability at each reporting date and the date of settlement with any changes in fair value recognized in the profit or loss for the period. So, ang gawin lang natin, guys, i-remeasure natin palagi si fair value ng liability, no? Bakit i-remeasure? Kasi magbabago din naman si value ng equity instrument. And doon kasi naka-base yung value ng ating liability. So we have to remeasure it always at the end of reporting period and until the date of settlement. And any changes, kasi nga tinawag siyang share appreciation right. Kasi appreciation right. Kasi yung value ng equity kasi magbabago yan, mag-increase. Or it could be mag-decrease. Pwede yan. So yung liability dito is dependent upon the value of or changes in the value of the equity instrument. The best example of cash settled share-based compensation is the grant of share appreciation right to employees. So isa lang to share appreciation right, isa lang to sa mga cash settled transactions or cash settled share-based compensation pala. Now, share appreciation right entitles an employee to receive cash which is equal to the excess of the market value of the entity share over a predetermined price for a stated number of shares. Ibig sabihin, yung cash na matanggap ng employee is difference lang ng market value and the predetermined price. Okay. Ang tanong lang, sir, every year ba bibigyan ng cash si employee? Ang sagot, hindi. Although if every year, every reporting date, every end of the reporting period, mag-remeasure tayo, di ba? Pero hanggang hindi ma-finally settled yung equity na yon, hindi natin babayaran si employee. Hanggang sa pwede nang magkaroon ng ma-vest na ng employee. Entitled. Hanggang hindi pa entitled si employee, wala pang cash settlement. Kaya, ang sinabi sa PFRS 2, sabi niya, yung final market value ng shares or final market value ng yung final value ng share appreciation right, hindi yan malalaman hanggang nagkaroon ng final settlement. Magkakaroon lang tayo ng remeasurement. Pero yung final yung basis ng cash settlement is nandun talaga sa final na final market value na kung kailan i-settle yung share appreciation right na yan. In other words, share appreciation right entitles the employee to cash payment equal to the increase in the price of the given number of shares over the given period. Like a share option, a share appreciation right is viewed as compensation for services rendered. But unlike in the share option, the entity shall recognize liability here because the share appreciation right is actually an obligation on the part of the entity to pay cash in the future on exercise date. Simply stated, share appreciation right creates liability. So ito lang yung pinagkaiba nila. No? Talagang mag-create, mag-account tayo ng liability pagdating sa share appreciation right. Now, measurement of the compensation. The compensation here is based pa rin ang fair value ng liability. Pero, okay, at the end, at the reporting date. Pero kailangan natin siyang i-remeasure every year. No? Hanggang kailan ma-finally settled na yung compensation na yan. Yung liability na yan. Any changes again in the fair value shall be included in the profit or loss. It could be mag-increase siya or mag-decrease. Accordingly, the vesting period from the date of grant to exercise date, if there are increases or decreases in the market value of shares, the liability for the compensation shall be adjusted. No, shall be adjusted to conform it to the current market value at the end of the reporting period. So, yun guys, yung point lang dyan, paano natin siya i-measure? Kunin lang natin yung market value every year or every end of the reporting period. Compare lang natin siya sa predetermined price. Yung excess na yun yung